Okay, let's start. Maybe I talk 2 words in Turkish, but maybe we can have guests which are speaking English, not Turkish people. Maybe I have to do this in English. Herkese merhaba. My name is Fikret Kemal Akyüz. I am head of the customer solutions at Festo Turkey. And we have today 2 guests from Germany, from Festo headquarters, Martin and Sebastian. And we will talk today about industrial IoT and artificial intelligence or machine learning, main topic, but of course, we will jump to other topics also. We can't limit us only for those topics. Especially, we will talk about usage and implementation of those topics. The content and technical issues are not our subject in this panel. So maybe I give the word to my colleagues. They can introduce themselves better than me. So Martin, it's your turn.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's a pleasure to be here in this call. My name is Martin Neumann. I'm the product manager of one of our digital products, a maintenance manager called SmartIns. And I'm looking forward to this call to share a little bit of our experience in this field, of our Festo experience. And I'm also looking forward to your questions.
So,
okay,
hello.
Thank you. Yes, Sebastian.
Sorry. Hello all. I'm also glad to be in this call to present what we are developing in Festo. I'm product manager for IoT in the headquarter regarding all solutions regarding energy efficiency, also parts of the AI stuff. So I'm glad to be here to answer your questions and to show you what Festo can do in this field.
Yes. Maybe for warm up, we can start with the video from Dr. Krivet from our board, head of sales. And he gives some messages regarding Festo also to understand Festo better. And also our actual situation with Corona. As you know, there is normally we should have Hannover Fair this year too, but because of Corona, we don't have this. It is just 4 minutes. After that, we continue. So I share first my screen and I go to the video. Sorry. So it takes time. Okay.
Dear valued customers, I would have loved to welcome you personally to this year's Hannover Fair. But unfortunately, as you know, this is not possible this year. So I'm even more grateful that in the next coming minutes, we have the possibility to visit our virtual Hannover Fair stand together. For us at Festo, innovation never stops. And therefore, also during the last month, we have been creative in our home office. We have been continuing the developments of our newest innovations in order to make you, dear customers, more productive.
You can hear, okay.
Seamless connectivity is what drives us at Festo. We want to make industrial motion as simple and safe and productive for you as possible. Right from the beginning, from the handling of the workpiece to the control of the work cell, up to the data storage and analysis in the cloud. And for this, Festo has got the right hardware, we have got the right control and software, and the right tools in order to set up your motion system in a simple and productive way. Proof of that is our Productivity Master. This production machine for individualized USB sticks demonstrates in 5 stations the advantages of mechanical, electrical, and software integration. How can we make electrical motion even more simple and competitive? Our simplified motion series is globally the first automation concept that allows simple point-to-point movement without programming, but still able to be connected in modern automation concepts, seamless activity. Digitalization is changing the automation world profoundly. As an example, newest innovation, our motion terminal, VTEM. VTEM is a piece of pneumatic hardware that is controlled by software apps. Inside, you find our newest generation of piezo valve that allow a precise control of pneumatic and servo-pneumatic motion. And for you, that also means a much increased process stability for all your applications. Our digital engineering tools like FluidDraw or the Handling Guide Online are supporting you in your daily engineering work. And please also use our online training offer by Festo Didactic. Extremely helpful, especially in these times of the home office. Join us and let's develop the digital future together. The product of our Festo core range offer are providing you with a solid foundation to realize your applications. They are highly standardized, very competitive in the well-known Festo quality and available even in large quantities on short notice. Festo is taking our responsibility to alleviate the corona crisis very seriously. We are restlessly working on solutions for medical applications, for example, components for laboratory automation or for devices for patient care. Even in these difficult times, innovation and technology are our passion. We do everything we can to make sure that you will emerge out of this difficult situation stronger and more productive than ever before. Please visit us in our virtual fair mid of the year. This will give you a good overview of everything we have prepared for you. I am also looking forward to meet you as soon as possible in person, because personal relation is what matters to us. Thank you, stay safe and take good care of yourself and your loved ones. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Krivit, I have to say. So he's mentioning mainly digitalization and changes at Festo. First, I want to start with the basic topics. We are talking since years, actually since 10 years, about Industry 4.0 and digitalization, etc. And today, I want to give us a small information, my personal idea. Today, we will try to talk about real, applicable, ready solution, or very soon to be ready. We are talking, if you make presentation about Industry 4.0, a lot of things which are actually not affecting or meeting directly needs of the industry. We talk cloud, data security, 3D, simulation, horizontal and vertical integration. But if we talk exactly what we are doing at the industry side, it is a little chaotic, I think. So we will try today to give a message from Festo side as a use case. Festo is in this case actually use case. What is this company doing regarding digitalization and Industry 4.0? What is our trend? And it is not only our trend actually, it is more or less the same for all others. Of course, we have some differentiations, but at the end direction is clear. So our idea is to talk real, ready, or soon ready solutions for the industry. First, we want to talk about difference between digitalization and Industry 4.0. We mix sometimes both words, what they are saying, what they are meaning. So I ask maybe Martin first, how do you see the difference between digitalization and Industry 4.0?
I think this is a general question which we have to answer, and I'm sure there are definitions, many different definitions. The easiest way to separate those two things is probably that digitalization is just a way of taking common processes which are used by pen and paper or other things and make them digital. So transferring processes into a digital world and enjoying all the benefits from it, so that you're available, that you can work easily with it. However, when it comes to Industry 4.0, I think a big difference here is that we are not only talking about digitizing content or processes, but connecting different processes, connecting application. So when it comes to Industry 4.0, the connection and the higher possibility to automate processes is maybe more the focus. So I think these are two ways to distinguish those two topics. Digitalization might be the first step, but then to really benefit from it, Industry 4.0 and the connectivity is probably the second step. At least this is one way to put it, I think.
Thank you, Martin. Actually, we are feeling since 10 years in our working life, business life, we have a tremendous change. Really, I feel this also. In the past, we had just Lotus Notes and Outlook maybe, but nowadays I have a lot of software tools which I have to understand and use, and using effective, not only as a beginner, we have to use them really. And this change is coming mainly from the digitalization. And I have to ask maybe a very general question, why we do need digitalization? And also we can talk partly about Industry 4.0. What are the reasons? What are the reasons to have Industry 4.0? And how do you feel this? It's a question to both of you. What is changing in headquarters on Europe in our working life? Why do we need this actually? So maybe we can start with Sebastian for this question. Then I jump again to Sebastian, Martin.
Sure, thanks, Fikret. It's a very good question. So as you were mentioning, why do we need this right now, and what is changing in headquarters in our daily life? Maybe I answered this first. And I think the current situation gives us the best example. We are now currently facing a global pandemic where everyone needs to stay with social distance to one another. And I think without digitalization also in our everyday life, work life, and all the tools we are using like Zoom meetings, like video conferences, Teams, and whatever, we can somehow in a business life face this challenge very good and keep up productive work. Also, we are not in one office together. So I think this is a perfect example of what digitalization can offer in our daily work. Now, when we talk about Industry 4.0, we need this for several reasons. One reason is, and that's, I think it's a global trend, is we are having two things. We're having mass production, and we will still have it in the future. So things are being produced in masses, like food, also like cars, like whatever we are consuming, it's produced in masses. But at the same time, we have a global trend where customers really want to have individual products. You can design your shoes, and it's manufactured as designed as you have designed it, maybe in your own online shop. So this customization, we call it also, it goes down to a lot size of one product that's very individual and not being produced anymore. This gives us, or production companies, the challenge to digitalize their whole supply chain, their whole production, to be able to answer to this demand of mass customization, so very individual products. So this gives us the opportunity to work in this field of digitalization, and factories and production facilities need to come up with new topics, with new ideas. Production needs to be flexible, and this is what digitalization can offer. And to be clear on this, we see this not as a trend that is replacing humans in the factory. I think that's an important task to say. We don't want to replace humans in the factory because this is often mentioned. Digitalization will, with digitalization, we will all lose the jobs in the factory. I think the trend is that people will have different jobs then. There's still a lot of to do in the factory, and the tasks that can easily be done by a machine, they will be done by a machine. I think that's a global trend, also with robotics, etc. But we still need people to do really important tasks and bring their knowledge into it. So there's always human involvement, and we don't expect to be less people in a factory than before.
Okay, thank you, Sebastian. Martin, something to add from your side?
Yes, I would like to add that actually, I think the human is in the main focus here in this development.
Yes.
So what we're doing is we're trying to help the people in the shop floor, the people working with the machines, the people in the controlling area with our digital solutions. We want to give them the information they need so they can act and not react. We want to present them the information in a way they immediately understand so they don't have to search for it. So I think with the tools from Festo, what we're offering here, we are supporting those people working in the production facilities to do their job better, not to replace them, but to make them more efficient, avoid mistakes, learning from the past, presenting information which are crucial and important right now, and not replacing them with different machines, but making their life easier. I think that is something what we at Festo do here, to work together with the customer to find a good solution and to offer solutions which are targeted to the needs of our end users.
Okay, thank you. As we promised at the beginning, we will not talk about general things like Airbnb, Uber, and interesting histories. We will talk about real problems or situation where we are at industry side. And I like this page. I will show my screen then. Sorry. So, share. No, it's okay. So, Sebastian, I like this page. I don't know why. It looks very technical.
Yes.
It looks very technical, but as I said, we will not talk very general. Just to summary from my side, what I have seen from Turkey, direction to headquarters, we were looking for our way since 10 years. We had a lot of ideas how we develop our offer to our customers, what should we offer, how should we offer, etc. And at the end, we came somehow to a solution, which is actually one software platform. It is just part of the issue, not all of them, but it is an important part for me, at least from my side. And could you explain where we are now? What is our offer to the market? We see also partly information about artificial intelligence on this page.
Exactly, Fikret. So as this looks quite technical, I want to keep it non-technical. What we're trying to achieve and what we are offering is a solution that makes an integration to the shop floor easy. So with all companies doing Industry 4.0 in the shop floor in production, they're all facing the challenge of connecting to legacy machines, to legacy devices, etc. And we want to make this easy. But this is not the only purpose for it. This is just a helper for it. We want to, we have two main streams that we are focusing on. One is making production more energy efficient. The second one is to avoid downtime, to make production more productive, to increase the OEE by predicting failure of components and machines. And that's where AI comes into it. Now we are seeing here a device, a IPC edge device, we can call it. Yeah. What does this mean? It does mean we not only see this as something that is done in a cloud system or somewhere else, we are focusing now also on the edge side, meaning on a computing capability next to where things are happening, next to machines, next to production lines. So we don't want to rely only on cloud system making the big jobs for us. We want to have this being computed and bring the value down to the shop floor, to the customer's environment, with the customer being the owner of everything happening down there, being the owner of the data and being the owner of the benefit that comes with the solution. But we don't want to forget about cloud systems. And that's why we have the top layer where we see these nice icons from Microsoft Azure, AWS, MindSphere, etc. I could have easily put some more icons on top of it because the environment is quite diverse. So, but we know we need to connect to those systems. Customers are having these systems, and we want to be one part of their facility, of their environment, being able to easily integrate into their environment and not being only a black box or being a closed box where no one besides Festo can work with. We want to be open also for third party. We want to integrate with machines, with components, even of our competitors, let's say like this, or if from other companies we see robots down there, etc. So we want to be open for this system, so to give a customer a complete and total view on his shop floor.
Okay. Maybe I can add a small comment. What I see here actually with basic understanding, we have shop floor here down. Yes. We have machines. We are getting somehow through the standard ways or with other ways the data.
Yes.
And data is here, and we have here what we see here is just a software platform. We are not talking about the edge device. It yes. can be also an edge device from other companies like Siemens, for example. At the end, our solution is a software platform where we have basic and advanced modules to add value for our customers. It is the idea. And there is always a question, is this secure? Then they say, I don't want to be connected to the cloud. So it means we can be only in shop floor, as you said, or within the company, or we can go to the cloud. It is our main idea here.
Yes, exactly. That's
dashboards, etc.
Yes.
And one of the important points, what I hear always, predictive maintenance, energy efficiency, device performance, OEE, they are actually blue parts, which are going mainly machine learning side. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Maybe we jump to mix it, to make it not boring. We go to another direction, to SmartIns. As we at the beginning mentioned, Martin is responsible as product manager for SmartIns. I want to ask Martin, what is actually SmartIns? Why we have this? It is, you will say, but I have to say, I am always too fast. It is first digital product from Festo. There is no hardware. It is just software in that time. So please explain us what is the SmartIns.
Well, what is SmartIns? I think it's best explained by looking how we at Festo work with maintenance management, because SmartIns is a software tool to organize and manage the maintenance task of end users. So a tool we offer to our end users, but we developed it in the first place for our own production facility. Looking back 3 years, we realized that in our plants, we didn't have a maintenance management system in place. We had different systems from different suppliers. Some work with SAP, some work with Excel tools, but there were many problems. We had issues that maintenance tasks were forgotten because the maintenance plans were missing. The maintenance explanation was in folders and they were missing. It was difficult to document everything for audits. So we as Festo, with our software developers, went into our own production facility, into the technology plant in Germany, and we developed together with our own maintenance expert a very lean tool to organize all maintenance activities, but to keep it simple, to make it user-friendly, to make it not another big, powerful, and also very expensive tool, but to make it a lean tool to support the gentlemen working in the production facility with those information they need, but not steal their time when they have to go somewhere, log in and find what they need, but really to make it available in a very short time. So in one sentence, SmartIns is a maintenance management system for end users to help them organize all their maintenance activity in one tool.
Okay, it's also cloud connected, so it uses also IoT, we can say.
Yes, it is. It is a cloud system. So the benefit is that the customer doesn't need to install anything. You don't need to talk to your IT and buy servers or something, but all this is taken care by Festo and our partner Microsoft.
Yes, and I see again our journey. As an outsider, I am from Festo, but somehow I am also outsider compared to headquarter. You know, at the beginning, it started very basically, I remember, and Festo has decided to do this for own need for factory, Industry 4.0 factory, Schanhausen. But later on, we have seen, as you said, we have seen it is nice tool we can offer also to our customers. But meantime, it changed a lot. It had at the beginning basic functions, but today's it is much more developed. Can we talk maybe a little more about those functions to understand what we do with SmartIns? Maybe I can use also one page from our prepared slides for this.
I think if you use page 8, maybe that would be a good start. And Figrid, you're absolutely right. In the beginning, we developed SmartIns for our internal users, and we had a very limited set of functionalities, meaning that we have a web application you see here on the left with a monitor. There we had an application for production managers working from the office. And we had a mobile app you see here on the right, where the people on the shop floor could see their maintenance plans, could give feedback on the maintenance plans, and also consume all information, pictures, video, PDFs in a digital way. So that was our general setup. This is what our colleagues from the shop floor told us. We want a simple app on the shop floor, but also a nice tool, a web application for the management or for the production manager. And this was our offer, and this is what we used, what we started to implement 2.5 years ago. But when talking to the customer and when talking more in detail, we figured that this is not enough, because when we talk about maintenance, planned maintenance, preventive maintenance with fixed routines, we also have to talk about unplanned maintenance tasks, about defaults, about breakdowns. And customer told us that they love the system, they love that it's very easy to use and very intuitive. But what about unplanned maintenance tasks? What happens if there's a problem, I want to report it? So we went again to our customers. We went to our own production facility and discussed with our colleagues how we can do this. And just a few months ago, we introduced an update to SmartIns. So now you can not only do maintenance management, but also incident management. So when there is a problem, you can create an incident ticket, you have a ticket management for those unplanned activities, and you have a machine logbook where all those things are combined. In the past, we had a big folder lying next to each machine, and if there was a problem, it was written down and documented, but it was of course very difficult to search through because it was handwritten and no one searches through 30 or 40 pages. Now, since we have digital, it's very easy to search through things. So we don't have only a small maintenance manager anymore, but we now have a tool which you can use for maintenance management, for incident management. You have a complete machine logbook. And with this, customers became more and more happy. And now actually we have a solution which covers all the activities you have in your maintenance department, but still in a very lean and easy to use tool.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. And our guest, please remember what I said. I see also as an outsider the trends at Festo sometimes. I can say this provocative. And if we see this page, but just we talked before, and we had different projects. Every company has different projects, but at the end, we are coming to one platform. We have SmartIns, but it belongs also somehow as a very important tool to that picture. At the end, we have to make also smart and predictive maintenance. It is maybe not presenting directly for SmartIns, but we have an integration, especially with last update, Martin, API. I can say maybe shortly, we have we presented this solution to our customers. At the beginning, the interest was weak, but nowadays, after some projects and talking to our customers, it is getting hot. We have seen. Why? I can give an easy example. One of our customers were asking not only have SmartIns, but they were trying to have an interface to other softwares like SCADA, and which is now with API possible. So it brings us forward these new functions especially. So if I move to another topic, maybe slowly, time is running very fast. Sebastian, one of the important issue today is also artificial intelligence. I know we can say this, I think artificial intelligence is a pure, I can say pure mathematics and software at the end, analytics. And it is not easy to learn. Therefore, Festo took a company. Now it belongs to Festo Group actually. The name was Risolto, still name is Risolto, sorry. And we tried to bring this artificial intelligence into our software platform or into our products. Can you explain maybe a little bit about this issue, examples, or what we are doing regarding artificial intelligence?
Yes, Fikret, for sure. So artificial intelligence is, as you said, mathematics combined with software. Computing power gives us the ability in nowadays to execute algorithms that we didn't have the power to execute some many years back. But now all these old algorithms come back, and we have it's a real trend with artificial intelligence. And for us, but still at the same time, AI is a technology. It needs to solve something bigger. We can't use AI just for itself. We need to find a benefit. We need to find a technology like Fieldbus is a technology. AI is somehow another technology that needs to give us a certain benefit. And the benefit in our case is many times we can predict failures of components. That's one big thing that we are doing. So, for example, if you have an actuator, pneumatic actuator, you might replace it through after several intervals or after a threshold you have defined by runtime of the actuator or something similar. You can easily do the interval-based stuff also with SmartIns to check for the actuator and so on. At the same time, we see, especially in critical applications, failure of components that are under high pressure or something else, where you can't just work with a threshold or with a time base, because you might replace too often, or you might replace not fast enough. So we need a different tool that is able to do it. So in this case, we know we have a model that predicts the failure of a component. And as you see this slide now I'm talking about the lowest level. We see AI is happening on various levels and on various layers. As I just described, a component, and we are working on this, we will be releasing next year the first components that come with AI inside that can predict a failure of attached actuators inside the component itself. So, but then we are just looking on one component. We say the higher we go, the more data we have, the more computing power we need to process this data. But at the same time, and that's a clear thing, we say the benefit and the value of it is gaining as well. So the more the data we have, the more we can also correlate data with other things. And for example, on line or machine level, we have a different view. We have a much higher view where we can say like we can predict failure of components, but also on the process itself or on certain machines, etc. And the higher we go, the more interesting it also gets for production companies, for end users, because they not only have a view on one component, they have a view also on lines, and they have a global view. They have a factory view and a global view. And with Festo, we want to target all these 3 lines, component level with our core components or the core business we are doing by having hardware components. They will be, AI will be inside of these components. And we will also, on the second level, offering an edge device that is capable of analyzing line and machine performance with AI. And then this is the part of Festo Digital Business where I belong to and Martin belongs to. For the cloud and the factory level, etc. This is especially with the edge part also the part that Festo also wants to take place with the digital business side. And we say on all these 3 levels, there is value for the customer. There's benefits, for example, by predicting failure and therefore having planned maintenance instead of unplanned maintenance. And the higher you go, the more optimization you can derive from your artificial intelligence.
Okay, thank you a lot. We see really always, I say with basic words, just having data is not so adding value for customer, but if you go up, take the data, make smart data out of them, smart data out of them, and make analytics, and use artificial intelligence, then customer will be more happy. Then they can steer the business really. Yes. Not having only data, huge data, it is actually more or less nothing.
Yes, just to add one more thing to this, as you said, Frickert, I totally agree on this. Through the last years, we said like data is the new oil. So just getting the data in huge amounts, you will find your benefits from it. And we now, and the whole industry now sees that only getting the data is not enough. You need to have the domain experience, the domain knowledge of the data. You need to be able to understand what is the data saying, what is the data coming from, what are we looking at. So just getting the data is not enough. And this now makes us also the perfect fit with Risolto, because with this knowledge of Risolto, data scientists, etc., they know how to work with data, but they don't understand the data. That now they're learning more and more. They talk to Festo, but now with the Festo being able and having the domain knowledge of all their customers and what's happening with pneumatic actuators, with electric actuators, and with processes, we can combine the domain knowledge and the data science knowledge. We need to combine it. And in the middle of this, in the intersection of those fields, we have the sweet spot where we have the real benefit. And that's what gives us that was really promising results.
Okay, thank you a lot. So I can maybe again turn back. Maybe I turn again, Martin. Time is running out, okay. Maybe a very famous question now. As we know, if we explain something, if we make a presentation, often we got the question about data security and can somebody take our data, etc. Actually, I will ask this both of you. And how do you see the data security? At the beginning, nobody was accepting to put their data to the cloud. It is my experience. I made several presentations about Industry 4.0. At the beginning, everybody said no. But nowadays, questions are getting less and less. How do you see this situation? And maybe, are we only company who is using SmartIns? We know in our factories we are using this, but as I said, we like the software and platform, and we come on the idea that we can offer this also to our customers. Yes, Martin, it's your turn.
Many questions.
Yeah.
Well, let me first answer the cloud topic. You are absolutely right. 3 years ago, when we were on the Hannover Trade Fair and when we are talking to customers or interested people about the cloud, everyone was very reluctant. When talking about the cloud, everyone was afraid that my data is accessible from everywhere. Everyone can look in my machinery, and people were very skeptical. Nowadays, talking to end users about cloud applications. The last survey confirmed that 75% of companies are using cloud applications already, and another 19% say they will do it this year. So in the end, 90% in the end of this year are going to use cloud applications. So I think we have a big trend here. I think partly because people now see and feel that they can trust in cloud applications as well, and that they are way more convenient. Here, as you see now on the screen, is a little sheet, a fact sheet about data security when it comes, for example, to our Microsoft Azure cooperation and when it comes to SmartIns. Actually, to be honest, this year, few people asked me about data security. This slide was very important last year and 2 years ago, but now people take it more for granted, especially if you are a big company and if you work together with Microsoft, then consumers and customers trust you with it. We have Microsoft as our very strong partner. It's important to say that the cloud applications we offer to customers, the data is not stored at Festo in our servers, but we use Microsoft servers. We work together with Microsoft as one of the biggest cloud providers worldwide. And as you see here, for example, the certificate for the Microsoft Azure Cloud and our backup systems and everything, this really gives the customer trust, and Microsoft works with state-of-the-art technology when it comes to data security, but also when it comes to availability. And I think since over the years, end users experienced in their own private life that we are using so many cloud applications, may it be Netflix or anything. It's not so much more about downloading something and installing it locally, but just using it from the cloud. And I think this will be the future, since all the problems being connected with local software, updates, security, accessibility, all the IT infrastructure, the IT maintenance, and so on, has not to do, does not have to be done anymore with the customer, but we as Festo, for example, take care of that. So it's very easy and convenient for our customers when we say it's run in the cloud, and I think this will be the future. And then there are not so many people afraid anymore. Now, that was the one question about cloud and data security. The other question you said is, well, we use SmartIns in our own production facility at Festo worldwide, in America, in Asia, in Europe. And what about customers? I'm happy to tell you that, of course, we also have international customers, not only in Europe, but also in Asia, for example. We have customers also in the Americas. We have customers. SmartIns is a maintenance management system which we developed at Festo for Festo, because there was no solution on the market which fulfilled our needs. But when we introduced it to customers, we were surprised that many of our customers conducted maintenance management with pen and paper. They were printing out maintenance lists, they stick it to the machines, they had to collect them again. These are processes maybe 20, 30 years old. You know, this is how you did maintenance in the past, this is how you do it in the future. But when we showed them SmartIns, they realized that it's a simple tool and that it really creates so many benefits, and you have a return of investment after a few weeks already. So we have customers, from very small customers, 20 people working in a small company, up to big international companies such as Suzuki, such as Valeo, for example, which have hundreds of thousands of employees, and they are also using SmartIns in their plants. So it doesn't really matter from which industry you are or which size your company is. If you're interested in a lean tool for SmartIns, I think I would definitely give it a try.
Super. It's nice to hear also for me as Festo employee, I must say. I have seen also, by the way, the customers list, and China and the Far East. It was very interesting for me. So I like this. Okay. And we were talking about content of this panel, and Sebastian had put some sentences actually. Where is the data? Whom belongs the data? It was also nice. At the end, we have a data, but we don't know where this is. where is this data located, etc. Maybe you can contribute also this point a little, Sebastian.
Yes, sure. Now, when we look back to the slide that you just showed before, the one with the device on the left side, we can definitely say where the data is. It's exactly on this device. So the data, this device is used to run on the machine level, like on the shop floor level. There can be one device having monitoring a complete line, or many devices for many
You
machines.
mean this?
Yes, yes,
okay.
perfect. So in this case, data first comes from the southbound, we call it, from the bottom, and it goes up from the shop floor via certain protocols. There are many of them, and there are legacy protocols, there are newer protocols. There's structured data, there's unstructured data, and then it goes into this device, and this is where we compute it, and this is where it's lying in first place. So it's totally in the hand of the operator of the factory in this case. It's their data, and they can then, after we have computed it or before, I mean, we make raw data and make smart data out of it. We can deliver it to the customer systems, to systems that are also on the shop floor, to cloud systems that the customer is running, as the customers is requiring the data to be. So we say cloud or on-prem upwards from the device itself. It's up to the customer. He can decide where his data should be transported. It also can lie on the device itself, and so the ownership and the location is in the customer's network.
Okay, thank you a lot. So it was at the beginning, we were trying also present again our dashboards to our customers, automotive industry.
Yeah.
At the beginning, they said it is no way we give our data to the Festo cloud based on Azure, Microsoft cloud actually. But now we have a solution. As I said, it's a journey. We started 10 years ago maybe, but intensively 5 years ago, I must say. At the end, now we have a solution. If there's a dashboard, for example, control panel for products, and they can put this data in the edge processor, in the network with the common protocols, cloud protocols, or they can bring this to the real cloud actually. We have both. It is up to customer, but I must say, in many cases, I have seen what we are not what we don't want to give to our cloud is maybe 2-3%. I mean, there are a lot of data from our customers, but actually they need only 2%, 5% of them, not all of them, to be afraid. Now there's a way they can put the main data to the cloud, and if it is really critical information, they can keep it in the company. It's okay if there's a trust problem, no problem. And maybe we are coming to the end. We have 10 minutes left. As an example, do we have some use cases regarding artificial intelligence? Maybe we don't mention the company name, but I know there are some projects. We can shortly give example maybe what we are doing there.
Yes, sure.
If it's possible.
Yep. So one of the most impressive example is from the automotive industry, from a big production, body and white production, meaning welding of body parts, etc. It's a fully automated process. Lots of robots are working there. Lots of welding cells, welding robots, welding guns included. Body parts need to be fixed, need to be clamped, and that's where a lot of, for example, Festo components, but also other components are included. So as I mentioned, it's the body in white process of cars. It's in the beginning of the production of a car. Failure in this station of car production leads to less, at the end, there are fewer cars coming out of the factory at the end of the line, and it's really expensive to fix these problems. You don't want to have unplanned downtime downtime in this. We have a big automotive facility in Germany. We have about 120,000, I think, clamping units included. So that's a lot of devices need to monitor it. The device itself is not expensive. It's not about the price of the pneumatic actuator. The price is quite fair. Even automotive has good purchase departments and they can lower the price. It's not the price of the component itself.
They're tough.
They're tough. It's not the price of the components itself. It's the price of the downtime. It's the price of needing to fix a problem that's occurring somehow randomly and in a certain point of time that you until now did not predict where it happens. So we've done this with artificial intelligence. We have researched with this solution and now have a model to predict failure of, for example, clamping units in the production process. There's also, I think, a nice slide that illustrates it. The gray slide. I can easily.
From me, you mean?
Yeah, Figrid. There's a yeah.
Yeah, which one you mean?
4.
I can see which. Just a second. I go back.
This one, yes.
Yeah.
It's now what is illustrated here is such a process. I hope you can all see it nicely. It's a body part of a car, and a robot is welding the body, and there's clamps that are fixing the body part, and they are failing. And once they are failing, the robot cannot weld anymore, and someone needs to go into this production cell. As I said, it's fully automated. There's lots of these. You need to find the clamping unit that is defect, and that's where we have now a model to predict failure of these clamping units, and we can predict it at least 30 hours in advance, up to 2 weeks in advance, which of these clamping units is failing, and we can route the maintenance personnel to this certain point and say, like, you need to replace this. We can find a slot in your maintenance schedule that where the line might be paused because of some regular maintenance, and we can easily then replace the clamping unit. And this gives you just much less downtime, and the process is much better. Even better, we cannot only predict when something is failing soon. We can also predict some smaller deviations for cycle time. Imagine this is now hundreds and actuators in this line, each of them having 10 milliseconds being delayed for 10 milliseconds because there's too much friction in the unit itself. It adds up to be like, then at the end we have 5 seconds or 1 second delay in the whole cycle time. That's not something where your PLC will say, like, okay, this is critical because each of the components is only 10 milliseconds, but at the end, you are producing less. And this is what we can predict, and we can notify maintenance personnel now. And the best thing about it is there is no need to install a lot of sensors or to install new sensors to it. We are working with the sensors that are attached, like in Germany, it's Endlagen sensor, where the sensor position sensor. We can, with the position data, with the data that's already there, maybe also a flow sensor, pressure sensor that gives, when we can classify the error itself, saying like it's based on the air supply or it's in the component itself. So we have a complete solution now here, being able to predict failure of these components, and we will roll out this. So this is now working in a automotive production facility in Germany. We are rolling out this soon to many other facilities of this automotive OEM, and we are really happy about the solution, because not only can we predict now failure of clamping units, but we can somehow transform and transfer this to pneumatic actuators in general. There needs to be some training for it, but we can apply it for pneumatic actuators in general. I think that's a really huge opportunity.
Yes. To emphasize what you explained from my side, as you see, we have a solution, artificial intelligence, to predictive the failure of the clamping units. And as you said, if we predict there is a possibility that there will be a failure, we have to give information to the, for example, SmartIns, that they should schedule a maintenance for this clamping unit. So I see, I would say this, I would love to say this, I see at the beginning as Festo, we were thinking more about hardware. But somehow through the journey in the last 5 to 10 years, we came to an idea that we have a software platform which is totally integrated. Then we offer added value from data until artificial intelligence. Maybe last 2 minutes to Martin. As we talked, SmartIns is not only for end user. We have also other business models. We say always with Industry 4.0 and digitalization, we have different business models. And in this case, our example in Turkey is also not end user, our customer, which is actually a possibility to work together with our customer. It is a machine builder. Can you maybe say some words about this? Then we come to the end of our panel.
Yes, great. SmartIns is a tool for end users. End users who have to do maintenance, they can benefit from SmartIns. But it's more interesting actually as a machine builder to use SmartIns, because what we as Festo want to do, we want to cooperate with a machine builder, because the machine builder knows what his or her machines, what kind of maintenance cycles they have. So our aim is to work together. We as Festo, we provide SmartIns as a maintenance platform, and a machine builder then inputs the maintenance plans of the machine and then sells the machine together with SmartIns to the end user. And this is what we are currently doing in Germany. And also, Frikut, we have a project here in Turkey where we want to do this, a cooperation where we bring in the knowledge about maintenance management and the SmartIns application, and the machine builder, he has the knowledge about his machine. And I think by working together for the end user, they benefit the most.
Super. Thank you very much. I think we are at the end of our time. We are really precise, just 1 minute left. So I think there is no special question from my colleagues. I checked. Okay. So I like this discussion and ideas from your side. Thank you a lot being with us here. It is a digitalization. You are in Germany, but we feel you are here. It is the station because of the corona partly, but I think it will be also, it gives us also a new trend. We will change our business life. So I want to say again, thank you a lot being with us. Thank you for the information you gave us. Stay healthy, and we hope to see, of course, face to face, like Dr. Krivit said.
Yes.
True.
So thank you very much for having us. It was a pleasure to present all our offerings and what we want to achieve and have achieved.
Thank you, Sebastian. Thank you,
also
Martin.
from my side, it was nice to be here. And why don't you now have a look at our offerings? SmartIns, for example, one tool which will help you.
Thank you. Thank you.